recently, he won second prize in Spotlight's Open Slam, which is a really difficult thing to do. So, big well done. His poetry is honest and sometimes has black humour, shamans, witches, chip shops and factories. It's very northern poetry. It's full of rhythm and grit. Please give a big round of applause to Rowland Crowland. Yay!
Thank you. I'll start off with a quick sonnet. Sonnets are quick, aren't they, really? I didn't need to qualify that, really, but by definition they're quick, aren't they? Hang on. This is called Sonnet Written in a Chipper, because, you know, deep in your pocket there's coins jingling, there's ready chips rustling and vinegar chinking, there's pies on a hot plate, puddings in a steamer. This is a place to sit and dream on the wooden bench under the window, and outside it's cold and forever the wind blows, and it's raining and dark and the window's steamed up, and people rush by, they've clocked out and teamed up, and time stands still for some chips and a pie, and just for a moment you're warm inside and safe and sound, and the people in the queue are chatting and laughing, they're feeling it too. Then it's, hey, you over there composing a sonnet, wake up cock, do you want gravy on it? Thank you. I've got a friend. I have got a friend. And he said he likes like an in-depth discussion of poetry. And he said to me, it's a good poem, that, Rowland. It's got 14 lines in it, I'll give you that. He said, but it's not in iambic pentameter, so it's not a sonnet. I said, it is. He said, it's not. I said, it is. He said, it's not. I said, it fucking is. It's good to discuss your poetry like that. Fucking critics. Speaking of poetic style, this is a heathen poem that I wrote recently. I wrote it on the winter solstice just gone, and I wrote it at Long Meg and her Daughters, which is a standing stone and stone circle in North Cumbria. And I wrote it there and I performed it on the solstice at Long Meg. It was quite a poignant moment, it was quite profound. And we recorded it and took it, we were going to put it on YouTube and that. And when we got home and played it back, there was no sound on it at all. So it's like just silent poetry. It was slightly too avant-garde to put on YouTube. No, I didn't think it'd do me any. In fact, I didn't think it'd do poetry any good. So this is the poem. Anyway, it's called Standing Stone. It's for Annie. It's the solstice. Where's everybody gone? They've gone and left me all alone, standing by a standing stone, reciting a poem. Well, they've gone. There's no one near, there's no one that I hold dear, no one to hear me now, just standing here on my own. But this ring of stones brings a feeling to me bones. This place feels strangely like home. I'm at home amongst the spirits of this place, of this sky and of these trees, and the sand and the seas close by, and I know this gentle breeze who opens me eyes to the whites and ghaists of this beautiful place, who are joining me in this sacred space. Vibrations all around me now, dwarves underground, awakening giants in the hills around. My ancestors abound in this place, and they're with me today, telling me to stay, telling me this is our way, telling me we are never by ourselves. Light elves strong all around us, their dance and song surrounds us, and as we dance I chance to see those I've known. Spirits come and gone, each one living eternally unseen lives, and as the solstice sunlight dies, the gods and goddesses of the northern tribes descend and gather by our sides and blend with us. They defend us, they send us into ecstasy. There is no ending for us in this place as we celebrate our ancient ways on this, the holiest of days. Did I say I was alone? Did I say I was alone? You can never be on your own, standing by a standing stone. This next poem is called Witch, which is the title poem from a new book. Well, it's just an exercise book with witch written on it in Tipex, but give me time, you know. The B&M bargain sticker £2.99 on the front might give it away. I might take that off. This is Witch. There's a witch standing beside me. Can you see her? She's not the same as she used to be. She's changed. She's more deranged, if anything, because she's died. And she died in pain. I've always thought it strange that she came to stay with me. She just stands there quietly. And mostly, that's how it's always been. But sometimes she interferes, whispers mad things in my ears, things that can't possibly be. Like that old lady wants to take me home for tea and sit me on her knee and feed me cream cakes. Sometimes she'll take me off where I shouldn't be, and it's like she abuses me over and over till I'm sore, and then she abuses me some more. Can you see her? She's usually grinning. It's like smiling. It doesn't make me happy, but it's all right by me. It's fine by me. But if I sing or say the wrong thing, then it happens, ping. She goes right off on a broomstick, giving me shit. A whirlwind of this and that, treats me like a black cat, way over familiar. And I can't think of anything sillier than that, but that happens, shit happens, crooked twat. Can you see her? She'll say there's someone behind me when there's not. She'll tell me to take apples from the shop and not pay for them. She'll say it's just a day for them when it's not. It's not always a day for apples. She'll look in the mirror when I shave, and then there's no room for me face. She displaces me, makes me more all over the place. Sometimes she'll take time away, and 3 weeks will only last a minute, and then she'll take a minute and spin it into 3 weeks. It's scary, isn't it? Can you see her? Sometimes she'll cry. She says she died in fire, found guilty at the assizes by wise men and tortured with devices. She protested her innocence all along, but I've done nothing wrong either, so why is she misering me? She says she came because she can, and I'm just some random madman. She says she's come home. She says she's my mother, maiden and crone. I just wish she'd leave me alone, but she says she's always going to be here, a witch standing beside me. Can you see her? Tell me you can see her. Thank you. I've watched a lot of performance poetry recently, both live and or like on YouTube and that kind of thing. And people sort of performing long, complex, beautiful poems, like from memory, by heart. The other week I was at Big Charlie Poets gig in Lancaster, the Three Mariners. I saw Steve Pottinger perform his whole set just from memory. And that night I thought, next time I do a gig like which is here tonight, I'm going to learn one of my more long poems, and I'm going to recite it by heart from memory without any recourse to the text. And I thought, fuck that, it's too stressful. So this is a poem about when I was bullied when I was a kid. Don't feel sorry for me, I was only bullied once. It was profound enough to leave me like this in later life, but it's called Charlie Peace. It's for anyone that's been bullied. I was walking up a back street when I was a kid when a big lad jumped out and held a gun to my head. Do you want plugging? No, I said, then you'll have to be my friend instead. So I said that I would be his friend, and I thought that would be the end. But we shook hands and he said that was that. I'd just made a pact with the ultimate twat. Charlie Peace, if you ever see him, just call the police. He's pure evil, in fact he's the devil. In fact, don't call the police, go straight to the priest. Charlie Peace was a scary guy. We'd walk out at night when the moon was high, out in the town where everyone slept. Grubbing, he called it, I don't know why. He made me go in houses and put things in a sack. He said if I didn't, then I couldn't go back to my own house to see me mum and dad. Charlie was round the bend, Charlie was real bad. Charlie had an evil grip on me. He'd tie me up and then set me free. He'd threaten me with a hanging tree and then sit me down and make some tea and talk about the fun we'd have together, stirring up storms and making bad weather for the ordinary folk who lived close by, who Charlie said deserved to die. One night Charlie said to me, tonight we're going feathering, you'll see. He meant stealing chickens from someone's farm. He said it'd be alright, it'd be no harm, and it only needed one twist of my arm, and I'm crawling round a chicken coop all on my own, and all of the clucking must have sounded the alarm, because suddenly there's a farmer with a firearm. We got 2 chickens and made it away like urban foxes back to the estate. Charlie took the chickens just as he'd planned, and I had to go home with blood on my hands, and then I wouldn't see him for days on end. And it was nice to knock about with my usual friends, but sooner or later the time would come when Charlie would pop up with his gun. Charlie Peace, if you see him, just call the police. Don't let him anywhere near you, please, or he'll be all over you like a disease. Charlie had a den in a derelict mill. Everything in there was dark and still. He'd make a little fire to brew some tea, and he'd plan his evil deeds with glee. He had an old teapot found on the tip, and 2 enamel cups that burned your lips. He'd grin and sink a nip of whiskey, then he'd laugh and choke on his stolen biscuits. He'd wear a woolly hat like a baby's bonnet. He had a wooden cupboard with a padlock on it. He'd sit in a chair that was old and dusty. He had a cushion for me that was mouldy and musty. And we'd sit about and talk about things to do, and sometimes he'd hurt me and sometimes he wouldn't do, and I'd stare at his scary face looking at me, and I'd see it again in my scary dreams. Then one day he had a girl in there with freckles and giggles and ginger hair. He made her take off her underwear, and then he made me touch her everywhere. She carried on giggling, but it wasn't funny, and when she got dressed, Charlie gave her some money. After she'd gone, he said that was swell, and he gave me some tea and a biscuit as well. Charlie Peace, don't mess about, just get the police. He's not like anyone living or deceased, he's evolution's monster piece. Other kids would run away from him. Mrs. Rowbottom said she'd pray for him. Grown-up people were appalled by him. Oh, why did I end up enthralled to him? You couldn't even plead to him. It didn't mean a thing to him. Charlie Peace had no feelings in him, and tears would only make him grin. We strolled into a church in the middle of the day. There were 2 people there quietly praying. Charlie took a drink from the water in the font, which brought the vicar over shouting, "What do you want?" "We want a crucifixion," Charlie said to his face, "and if you can't provide one, we'll wreck the fucking place." We covered all the altar with obscene stickers. Then Charlie poured domestos all over the vicar. Charlie Peace, he should have been done for bleaching the priest. His hands are dirty and his mind's diseased. Wherever he went, he made people uneasy. Charlie found all bad things funny, like we'd threaten kids and take the pocket money, like we'd wreck people's privates and wouldn't run away. We'd take biscuits from the corner shop and wouldn't pay. Then one night at home I was having me tea when the police came to our house, and they said they wanted me. They told me mum and dad there'd been some burglaries, and they reckoned it was all down to me and Charlie Peace. So I was in the cop shop in a cold dark cell, and Charlie was in another one locked up as well. I could hear him whispering through the walls that if I spilled, he'd slam me balls in his padlock cupboard and his dirty den. He'd keep them there forever, and then he'd tell everyone I stole the chickens. There was blood on my hands and no mistaking. I thought I'd be in prison for years, like Strangeways or Alcatraz behind iron bars, but the policemen were kind and gave me some tea. They said that I was alright to go free. They said that Charlie had manipulated me and the truth was there for all to see. And they told me mum and dad all the lies he'd spun, and they said that his gun wasn't even a real one. Charlie Peace, Charlie Peace, he ended up in the hands of the police. Pray to God that he'll never be released and kids will be safe from this evil beast. Charlie's sudden absence hit me like a bomb. My dad said he'll get no peace where he's gone. He's been sentenced by the judge to a house of correction where even bigger kids than he is won't leave him alone. I stopped being haunted by the evil things we did. It was great just to go and play with other kids. People often get bored leaving normal lives, but when you've lived in Charlie's world, normality's paradise. Charlie was a bully and crazy to boot. I saw him years later, he'd been in an institute. Do you want plugging? Came the voice one afternoon, and my heart sank fast like I was doomed. But fuck off, Charlie, I said, you don't scare me at all. And far from plugging me, I'll be slamming your balls, because I've been told you're a fake and a farce. Now fuck off or I'll stick that toy gun up your arse. Crestfallen, Charlie slinked away, and I'll never see him again to this day. I've often wondered what became of him, whether he's a criminal now or a politician. But I learned a lot from his evil ways, how to live my life day to day. I walk my own path, I lead my own life. I am my own person, always, always. Charlie Peace, Charlie Peace. If you ever see him, just dial the police. He should be in Broadmoor and never be released. He's the bogeyman, he's the devil, he's the beast. Bastard, wasn't I was going to read the same poem again then. Fucking hell. Shit. Hang on, bear with me. I've always written poems about goblins for some reason. They just keep sort of popping up. Well, goblins do, don't they? But, you know. This is a poem about a goblin. When I get off my lazy ass someday, I'm going to put all these goblin poems together in an anthology, like a goblin compendium, like a sort of huge, big sort of book of goblin poetry. But anyway, for the moment, this is a goblin poem. It's called Thief. It's a true story. A goblin stole me DNA. I didn't want it anyway, but there's a goblin knocking about Manchester today that looks like me in every way. Someone saw him in Blakely Woods and casing houses in Eaton Park Road. I think he might live in the woods. I'm sure he's up to no good. Someone saw him in the middle of town. He was on Tib Street walking up and down, casually like he owned the gaff, pulling faces at the shopkeepers. They were laughing at him. In Harper A. Asda, he stole some beer. The security man shouted, "Hey, you, come here." He was caught red-handed then and there, but he vanished, they say, into thin air. He just stalks about in broad daylight. Ordinary people think he's frightening. He sticks his big nose into babies' prams and he pinches the mum's bums and really frightens them. Jimmy saw him in Bolton, Nevada. He said this goblin was dancing harder than anyone else on the dance floor when the bouncers grabbed him and launched him out the door. Not long after that, the police came for me. I was arrested and taken to Brutal Street, but I explained to the sergeant on duty that day that a goblin had stolen my DNA. I think he believed me. He let me go anyway. Yeah, true. I wonder about. This is called It's Easy Dying Now. I'm crying now. I'm hiding nothing now in this strange land. Even my palms are in other people's hands. Even under my arms, where no one ever sees, is exposed now. These people have crucified me. Hanging naked, nailed to a tree is not what I expected life to be. I know why I'm here, and I know how it's got to be, but sometimes I can't see. Is it really necessary? I keep thinking you've forsaken me. Dying's pretty easy. The pain's crazy, but the dying's easy. It had to be this way. You see, I've walked a road of martyrdom, so your kingdom will come to earth as it is in heaven. And I understand that even though I feel so saddened, so sad. But at the same time, I'm glad that all these people here who you say are really bad won't need to get mad with each other anymore. Won't need to be sad about what's gone on before, because I know that when I'm gone, this act of dying will linger on in their minds and spur them on to be kind to each other forever. To stop lying to each other forever. To stop fighting each other forever and ever. Amen. So no crying now. I'll stop crying now. Yeah, it's easy dying now. This is a poem about cultural change in the late 1950s. It's a bit atypical for me, really, this, but in the 1950s in this country, things were changing very very quickly for various sort of social cultural reasons. Changing particularly for women. There were more possibilities being created for women. Like, liberation was one of the terms that was bandied about at the time. So it's about right. It's called New Woman. I must say this poem carries an X certificate because there's a scene of absolute violence in the middle of it, where the character representing what women had been like, and the character representing what women were becoming, kind of have a standoff in the street, and one's armed with a kitchen utensil. I think it's a rolling pin or a whisk or something, and the other's armed with a sheet of tripe, which so it's quite graphic. It's not gratuitous. It should be there. It's a true story as well, but it's quite it's quite for people that some people might not know what tripe is. For younger people in the audience that don't know what tripe, that were never subjected to tripe. Tripe was something used to be given for your tea when like I was a kid. And basically it's the lining of a cow's stomach which is served cold in a dollop on your plate. Yeah, and they used to give you the full bottle of vinegar to sort of splash over it, I think to take the taste away. You know, and as a little kid that's awful. It's like, what's for tea tonight, Mum? Tripe. It's all for fuck's sake, you know. And man, you'll eat it and enjoy it. Fucking won't, it's the line of the cow. So look, your dad's enjoying his, you know. Yeah, tripe. There's something else in this poem as well that needs qualifying. Oh yeah, there's a reference in the poem to Fanny Craddock. Fanny Craddock was the first TV chef, really, in the late 1950s. Like, TV cookery programmes are really sort of popular now, there's loads of them. Fanny Craddock was the first, and she used to come on and demonstrate making a dish every week, and she was helped by her husband, Johnny, he was very, very upper class, and he'd test the food as they went on through the programme and make salient comments about it. And there was an apocryphal tale that one episode, and she'd been demonstrating how to make donuts, and at the end Johnny said, "Well, thank you very much for watching, and I hope all your donuts turn out like Fanny's." Apparently it's true that you probably get that on YouTube. It's fucking genius though. Yeah. Anyway, this is called New Woman. I've got to compose myself. It's got like a slight bossa nova rhythm, this poem, for some reason. Winnie made croquette potatoes while everyone else had mash. Everyone else made a meal of the housework, but Winnie went round in a flash. She had the edge. She used pledge. She was the first in the street to make kedgeree. She used a whisk to stir the cake mix, not an old wooden spoon like it used to be. Her husband Ronnie had a Vauxhall Viva. It was green and keen and streamlined. Hardly anyone had a car at the time. No one was that way inclined. He was a rep, a step ahead. He always had a pocket of peppermints. He had a tash and a splash of old spice, not too much, just a hint. They were the first in the street to have a telly and a gas fire with a switch to turn it on. And they had a telephone that no one could ring because nobody else had one. It was class. They were working class with middle class aspirations. It was a sign of the times. Things were changing all over the nation. Winnie worked days in a light bulb factory. She was the eyes of the quality control, and everyone could see how good she was because the eyes are the windows of the soul. But making bulbs, it was dull, so she needed something light to ease the load. She couldn't wait till Friday late to clock out and do a shopping on the way home. And Winnie knew how to do the shopping, get the big things all at the co-op, leave the fresh stuff till Saturday market, Friday treats from the corner shop, and a cake and a piece of hake. For Sunday smelled the sweetness and success. It added spice and it was nice to close her eyes and dream of nothing less. On Saturday it was the market. It was a good place to go and meet folk from all over the valley, not just people from off her own street. A cup of tea, a cig or three, and find out about all the goings on across the town, the ups and downs of all the people from where she belonged. And Sunday was always for resting. The Lord's Day it was called. Nobody really knew what to do because the Lord had done nothing at all. They went to church. It didn't hurt. It's the place you got to go for beg for pardon for your sins, then put out the bins while Ronnie washed the car and did the garden. Sunday afternoon was always sunny. Jesus guaranteed it that way. But Winnie always felt a bit funny about the singing and the kneeling and the praying. But soon her friend June would come round for something simple on the radio. And at night, if it's still light, I walk to Coronation Park to where the flowers grow. Winnie was making casseroles when everyone else had stew. She was always on time in the clocking in line and always the first in the bus queue. It was her way every day to be up there with them, knowing what was what. It was a good way, instead of every day moaning about what you hadn't got. Winnie was the first to make pasties when others couldn't see further than a pie. But it's true that other women can be nasty and blow out another woman's pilot light. It's a curse. There's nothing worse than a woman who's got trouble on her mind. It's just a shame. No one's to blame, but some women are just the trouble kind. Ivy Robertson was one of these. Ivy the Terrible, they called her. She smelled like a chip and had a tongue like a whip and a face like a bulldog had mauled her. She was feared, and she appeared and slapped Winnie round the face with a sheet of tripe. Let that be enough of your snobby stuff. We'll have no more parsley sauce while I'm alive. As I just realised this woman sounds remarkably like Charlie Peace. I don't know what's going on here. It's a bit scary. Let that be enough of your snobby stuff. We'll have no more parsley sauce while I'm alive. Winnie was shocked for a second. What would Lord Jesus do? But Jesus had never been tripe slapped as far as Winnie knew. Blessed are the weak, turn the other cheek, but a tripe slap could not be forgotten. So make a stand, the future's in your hands, it's time to confront this row bottom. A rolling pin to the abdomen had Ivy reeling about, then a baking tray across the head all but knocked her out. She stood like a pudding and wobbled just a bit from side to side. Then she dithered and then withered, and the poison ivy spouted up and died. There was no longer any trouble from Ivy, and Winnie continued to cook, experimenting with ingredients. There was more to life than Mrs. Beaton's book. There was rice and Kraft cheese slices and baked potatoes with nice fillings instead of chips, and fried steak and milkshake, lovely stuff that made you want to lick your lips. The 60s were just round the corner and a new sense of freedom was here. The age of the tyrant was over. The path of new woman was clear. Then on TV, on the BBC, Fanny Craddock first presented the quiche. And so it goes. Who could know what would happen once Fanny was unleashed? Thank you. A bit risque at the end, this, so I'll finish with a religious number and sort of purge my sins. Good to end with a rousing religious number. This is called My God Eileen. Why would you have a God called God? I just think it's really very fucking odd. It's like having a dog called dog, or a job called job, or a wife called wife, or a cat called cat. How shit stupid's that? And why does he have to be a man? Is that some kind of master plan? Like a woman can't give birth to mankind, but a man can. What sort of mad plan's that, man? No. If I had a God, she'd have a name like Eileen or Veronica or Sweet Jane. And I'd walk with her, holding hands. And I'd talk with her. We'd walk along the sand at the edge of the sea. I'd lie in her arms and dream while autumn leaves fell on me. And I'd love her, and I'd make love to her, and always be her devotee. Yeah, my God would be a she-god. She'd be well good. She'd smell of incense and make more sense than a he-god, thinking he's holier than me, thinking he can control me, thinking he's got some weird ungodly hold over me. Who knows if I don't go to church on Sunday and who'll scold me? No, mine's a woman God who'll hold me. She'll enfold me in her arms and keep me safe from harm and console me, and say I'm as good as everyone else, and that I'm worth something as well as just walking around down here in fear. Someone who'll hear me when I'm crying, someone who won't care when I'm lying, someone who'll comfort me when I'm dying, someone sublime, someone serene. Yeah, my God, Eileen.